Hello everyone, today our topic is how to send payment reminders via email from MySQL records. So here I want to send payment reminders to all my customers that has due payments, and for that I am keeping a record in my MySQL database. So here my objective is that I want to first schedule my workflow for every day by using Schedule by Pabbly, and now what I want to do is I want to get the rows of all the customers that has the due payment in my MySQL table. So after getting the rows and the details of my customer, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send payment reminders emails to all my customers by using Gmail. So for my objective, I have to build a connection between MySQL and Gmail. So for building this connection, I'm going to use Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing software for automation and integration. In Pabbly Connect, I have to set up my trigger and actions. In trigger, I'm going to use Schedule by Pabbly. In action, I'm going to use first MySQL, and then I'm going to use Gmail. So how I'm going to build this connection? For that, let me take you to my computer screen. I hope all you can see my computer screen, and today we are going to see that how we can send payment reminders via email from MySQL records. So I am keeping a record of all my payments in MySQL database, and now every day I want to retrieve the data of all the customers that has the due payments, and as I will get the data of the customers who has due payments, then automatically I want to send payment reminders via email to my customers. So here I'm going to create an automation to daily send reminders via email to my customers for due payments. So for setting up this automation, I'm going to use Pabbly Connect, and now with Pabbly Connect, I'm going to build a connection between MySQL and Gmail, and now daily this workflow will work, and I'm going to retrieve the data of customers who has due payments, and automatically I'm going to send payment reminders via email to my customers. So how I'm going to build this connection between MySQL and Gmail, and how I can use Pabbly Connect to create this workflow? For that, I need to open a new tab and search for pabbly.com/connect, and it will take us to this landing page of Pabbly Connect. Here we have two options, sign in and sign up for free. If you don't have any account with Pabbly Connect, then you just have to click on sign up for free button, and it will take only 2 minutes of your time, and you will get 100 tasks free every month. Or if you already have an account, you can just sign in and you will get to see this page. So these are all the apps that Pabbly offers, and we are going to use Pabbly Connect here. For that, I need to click here on this Access Now button under Pabbly Connect, and it will direct us to the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. Here we have the workflow section, and we can see all the workflows that we will create here. This is the folder section. We can create new folder here, and we can save any workflow in any particular folder that we want. Now here I want to create a new workflow. For that, I need to click here on this create workflow button, and this window will pop up. Here I have to name my workflow, so I'm going to name it as my objective, which is to send payment reminders via email from MySQL records. And now what I need to do is I need to select the folder where I want to save my workflow. So I'm going to open this tab, and in this tab I will find all the folders that I have created in my Pabbly Connect account. And here I have this particular folder of MySQL, so I'm going to select this. And now I'm going to save my workflow in this particular folder, so I need to click on create. And it will take us to this most important window of our workflow. Here we have two boxes, trigger and action. So these are the two main principles on which our workflow works on. And trigger says when this happens, action says do this. So trigger is going to be the first step that will get executed in our workflow, and action will just follow that. So we have to set up our trigger first, and here what I need to do is I need to first schedule my workflow to work daily. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my trigger, and here my trigger will be Schedule by Pabbly. So I'm going to select Schedule by Pabbly here. And by using Schedule by Pabbly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to schedule my workflow for daily. So here what I need to do is I have all these tabs, so I'm going to select how often you want to run your workflow. So I'm going to open this tab, and I'm going to select this option of every day. And here my workflow is going to get scheduled every day. And now I have to give the time when I want my workflow to schedule. So I'm going to select my timing here. So my timing will be 11 AM, and I'm going to save this. So I have successfully scheduled my workflow, and it is scheduled for every day, and it is going to schedule at local time of 11 AM. Now what I need to do is I need to first retrieve the data from my MySQL database for all the due payments. So for that, what I need to do is I need to set up my actions tab. So I'm going to open this tab, and here my action application is going to be MySQL. So I'm going to select MySQL here. And now I have to give an action event. So I'm going to open this tab and get rows will be my action event. So I'm going to select this. And now I have to connect MySQL with Pabbly Connect in my workflow. So for that, what I need to do is I need to click here on this connect button. I will click on add new connection. And for connecting MySQL, I need all these data. I need the username, password, host, database, and port. So I need to fill all these details of my database, and I need to fill all these details to connect MySQL with Pabbly Connect. So I have already filled all these connections and I have created an existing connection. So I'm going to select existing connection, and you can fill all these details to create your connection. So I'm going to select existing connection and I'm going to click on save. And my connection here is successful. Now what I need to do is I need to first select the table name. I have to take you to my MySQL database. And here I'm going to use this particular table of payment records. So I'm going to use this table, and in this table I have all these details of my customer, and I have this column of payment status. So in this payment status, I'm keeping the record of the payments if that payment is due or paid. So I'm going to use this particular column and I'm going to use this particular table. So let's go back to Pabbly Connect. And now I have to first select my table. So I'm going to open this tab, and in this tab I will find all the tables that I have created in my MySQL database, and I'm going to use this particular table of payment records. So I'm going to select this. And now I have to give my column name where I want to put my where clause. So I'm going to open this tab, and in this I'm going to use this particular column of payment status. So I'm going to select that. And now I have to select my operator. So in the operator, I'm going to open this tab, and I have all these values, but I'm going to use this operator of equal to because I want to use this operator to set my value. So I'm going to select this, and now I have to give the value. So here what I need is that if the payment is due, then I have the value of due, and I'm going to put my value as due in this value tab. And now what is going to happen is that every time MySQL is going to search for this value in this particular column of payment status, and if it finds this value for any customer, then automatically it is going to send the data of all those customers to Pabbly Connect. Now here I have this option of limit. So I have to enter my limit to fetch the specified number of rows. For example, if I want to fetch 10 rows, then I have to give 10. And if I want to fetch all the rows, then I have to write all. So I want to get all the customer rows. So I have to type all here. And now what I need to do is, if you're fetching multiple rows, then turn off the simple response so that you can use iterator as your next action step to process rows one by one. So I want to do the same because I'm fetching multiple rows. So what I need to do is I need to turn off this simple response button. And now I'm going to get the response in advanced format and in array format. Now what I need to do is I need to click on save and send test request button. And here we can see I have received the response. So in this response, I have this array format, and in this array, I have the data of all the rows and all the customers that has the due payment. So I have received this data from my MySQL database, and I have received this data in this array format or in advanced format. And now what I need to do is I need to send reminder message to all these customers via email. So for that, what I need to do is I need to first set up one more action step. And here I'm going to use iterator by Pabbly. So I'm going to select iterator here. And now I have to give an action event. So I'm going to open this tab, and process arrays will be my action event. So I'm going to select this, and I'm going to connect iterator by Pabbly with Pabbly Connect. So I'll click here on connect. And now I need to choose my array. I only have one array in my MySQL get rows response. So I'm going to select that. And now what is going to happen is that it is going to process this particular array, and it is going to retrieve all the details one by one. And I can use all those data to send emails one by one to all my customers for my payment reminders. Now I'm going to process this array. So I have to click on save and send test request button. And here I have received this response. So in this response, I have received the data of my customer, which is named as test user. Email is testuser@pabblytudes.com. And I have the phone number and the payment status, which is due. So here I have received the data from my array, and here I have received only the first row data. And as my workflow will work, it is going to process my array, and I'm going to receive data one by one, and I can send email to all my customers one by one. So for sending the payment reminders, what I need to do is I need to set up my last action step. And here my action application is going to be Gmail. So I'm going to select Gmail here. And now I have to give an action event. So I'm going to open this tab, and send email will be my action event. So I'm going to select this. And now I have to connect Gmail with Pabbly Connect. So I'll click here on connect. I will click on add new connection and I will connect with Gmail. And now for connecting Gmail, I have to click here on this allow access button. So I'm going to click here and I have successfully connected Gmail with Pabbly Connect. Now I have all these tabs to send email to my customer. Now first what I need to do is I need to give the recipient email addresses. So here I'm receiving the email address of my customer from my iterator response. So I'm going to receive the recipient email address from my iterator response one by one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to map that response of email addresses of my customer here, and I'm going to use mapping. So what mapping is a technique through which I can retrieve the data from the previous steps, and the data that is changing will get replaced with the new data in the real time. So for mapping, I have to click here. I will open the response of iterator, and here this is the email address of my customers. So I'm going to map this. And now I have to scroll down and I have to give the sender name. So here I can give the sender name. So I'm going to use my company name, which is going to be Pabbly. And you can type any sender name that you want. Now what I need to do is I need to give the email subject. So here my email subject will be outstanding payment due. So this is going to be my email subject. And now what I need to do is I need to first select my email content type, and I want my email content type to be plain. So I have selected that. But if you want to send your email as HTML, then you can select that here. I'm going to select plain, and now I have to give my email content. So I have to give my email content that I want to send as an email to my customer for the due payments. So I'm going to type my email content here. So this is going to be my email, and here I have typed this email for reminding my customer about the due payment. And here this is going to be my email content. And now what I need to do is I need to map the name of my customer here after this dear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here. I'm going to open this response of iterator, and here this is the name of my customer. So I'm going to map this, and this is going to be my email, and I'm going to send this email to my customer. So here I have mapped all the required details, and now what is going to happen is as I have mapped all these details here, now I'm going to retrieve the data from my MySQL database, and by using iterator, I'm going to use all the detail of the customer that has the due payment, and I'm going to get the data of all the customers one by one. So I'm going to process that data one by one, and I'm going to send these emails to all my customers one by one. So here I have filled all the required details. Now what I need to do is I need to scroll down, and I need to click on Save and Send Test Toolkit button. And here we can see I have received this response. So this is a positive response, and this means that I have sent a payment reminder email to my customer via Gmail. Now to check this, let me take you to Gmail, and I will go to Send section. And here on Send section, we can see I have sent this email to my customer, which is named as test user, and the email is testuser@pabblytudes.com. So I'm going to open this email, and here I have successfully sent this email to my customer, and the subject of my email is outstanding payment due. Sender name is Pabbly, and my customer email is testuser@pabblytudes.com, and this is my customer name, which is test user, and this is my email content. So here we can see that I have successfully sent this email to my customer for their due payment, and I have used all the details that I have received from my MySQL database, and I have sent this email to my customer that has the due payment, and I have the record in my MySQL database. So I have used the data that I have retrieved from my MySQL database, and I have sent that email to my customer automatically by using Gmail. So here my connection between MySQL and Gmail is working successfully. And now every day I'm going to retrieve the data from my MySQL database, and I'm going to get the data of all the customers who have the due payments. And after retrieving the data from MySQL database, then automatically I'm going to send payment reminders via email to my customers. Now let's go back to Pabbly Connect. And here I have successfully set up this workflow. And now what is going to happen is that every time when this workflow is scheduled, then this workflow will work, and all these steps are going to work. And I'm going to retrieve the data from my MySQL database, and I'm going to process that data by using iterator by Pabbly, and I'm going to send email to all those customers one by one by using Gmail. So let's summarize what we did here. So first I have set up my trigger, and my trigger here was scheduled by Pabbly, and I have scheduled my workflow every day. Then I have set up my action steps, and first I have used MySQL to get the rows data of all my customers who has due payments. And after that I have used iterator by Pabbly to process the data of my customer one by one. And in the end, I have used Gmail to send the email of payment reminders. So this is how I have successfully set up my workflow, and you can also create this workflow by following all the steps that I did in my workflow. And I'm also going to put the link of my workflow in the description so you can check it out from there, and thank you for watching this video. Not just these applications, you can automate and integrate a lot more applications like this by using Pabbly Connect. So if you want to reach out to us, then email us at support@pabbly.com. And if you have any queries, then you can write us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any issue with the pricing, then you can visit this link. And if you like this video, then please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.